Hello and welcome to my channel. I want to show you a hat. If you like to do a hat with this stitch, I think this is nice for spring, well, even winter, where you live is not so cold. But it's a very easy stitch to do, one row repeat, and this is the top of the hat, and this is the other side. So you can do a hat like this, and if you want, you can, let's say, you put it like this to have the edge turned. Yeah. This hat, this is where I closed, well, where I joined, right here. You will see the end. Yeah. So I just hide the tail here. I just left a little bit just for you to see where I hide the tail. But this is a very easy hat to do. This is the way I do my hats. I don't like to increase or decrease. If you don't like this kind of style, then this tutorial, well, it's not for you. Yeah. But this stitch is very nice. Yeah. I will put in the description box underneath this video a tutorial from 2017 when I did a tutorial how I do my hats step by step. Yeah, but the tutorial, that the link that I'm gonna put, it's gonna be like making a big long rectangle, put it together in half and sew the one side. Yeah, but this one is worked in rounds. Yeah, it's very easy to do. For this hat I started with the foundation single crochet here at the bottom, and I did 19 rows, and if you see here, it's different. After I finish 19 rows right here, yeah, 5 rows I did with single crochet, 5 rows in each stitch. I did single crochet for 5 rows. For this, let's say if you are to do this kind of hat, of course you're gonna need some yarn. You're gonna need a crochet hook, and this hat was worked with 5.0 millimeter crochet hook. So you're gonna need a crochet hook, yarn, and a tapestry needle, where you're gonna pass the yarn that you worked the hat with. Well, you're gonna make a knot here at the end, and then you're gonna go around. After you finish these 5 rows of single crochet, you're gonna go around and around, and then you're gonna pull, and it's gonna close here, and then with the tapestry needle you're gonna close if it's a little bit opening here. Yeah, it's very easy. But I'm gonna show you the stitch for this yarn that I did. How you say, this hat, they say that I should use between 4.0 millimeter crochet hook and 5.0 millimeter crochet hook. So I did a hat with a 5.0 millimeter crochet hook. Like I said, this hat, or this, well, depends. If you don't like to put the foundation single crochet, then you're gonna do just the chains, and make sure that you have odd number. I have here 25 stitches, because with the foundation single crochet we have the stitches right here. Yeah, I will put underneath this video, I will put a link for the tutorial where I will show you in that tutorial how to do this foundation single crochet. You can use this for many things. You do a bag, you do a sweater, a tank top, and when you start with this if you want. Yeah, everything you like to do. The stitches are right there on top. Yeah, I have here, like I said, 25 stitches, so we need to chain odd number. So after you finish chaining the odd number, I'm showing you in that tutorial how to join this into a circle, this foundation single crochet. So we're gonna go to this line here, pull up a loop, and then, well, I'm not gonna chain more. I'm not gonna, it's enough for just a small sample. So you have 2 loops there. Then you're gonna bring this, make sure that it's not twisted, and you bring into a circle, and you're gonna go right here at the end. Yeah, through this. Yeah, the next stitch, the first stitch, is right here. So after that, we're gonna close this into a circle. So you're gonna yarn over, pass the yarn through the first 2 loops. It's like doing a slip stitch. Then yarn over and pass the yarn to the next 2, and then we're gonna move to the first stitch here, right here, and we're gonna do another slip stitch. Then chain 1, and now in that first stitch that we closed this, and we did that last slip stitch. Into that first stitch, we're gonna go in there, pass the yarn to the first loop, yarn over the hook, and go back again into that first stitch. You're gonna have 4 loops on your hook. Pull the yarn through all 4 loops. Then you're gonna chain 1, and this is how we're gonna work. Just make sure that the circle, it's not the foundation chain, it's not twisted. Yeah. So now, and it looks like this when you close that in here. Yeah. So this is where we joined. So you're gonna skip the next stitch, and into the next stitch we're gonna repeat. We're gonna pull up a loop, pull the yarn through the first loop, yarn over the hook, and we're gonna go back again into the same stitch, and we're gonna have 4 loops, pull the yarn through all 4 loops, chain 1, skip the next stitch, and into the next we're gonna repeat, and we go back again into that stitch, 4 loops on the hook, pull the yarn through all 4 loops, chain 1, and we're gonna do like this until we finish this row. Skip the next stitch, and into the next we repeat, and you go back again, 4 loops, pull the yarn through all 4 loops, chain 1. It's very important to chain that one. Yeah? Skip the next stitch, and into the next we repeat. If I move too fast, you have the option to slow down the speed of the video. Yeah? Skip the next stitch, and into the next we repeat. And go back again into that stitch, pull the yarn through all 4 loops, chain 1. Skip the next stitch, and into the next we repeat. It's a very easy stitch. You can do so many things with this. You can work this in flat, not necessarily rounds, but it's not gonna look the same if you are to work flat. So you skip the next stitch, and into the next you repeat. It's a very easy stitch, goes really fast, and especially if you work with a chunky yarn, builds really fast. Yeah. For an infinity scarf, for a hat, for a bag, whatever, even tank top, when you work until upper and under your arms, and then you stop. Skip, and into the next. And then for a bag, it's nice. But I think it's much nicer for an infinity scarf. I think. Okay. Skip the next, and into the next we repeat. Chain 1. And now you have here at the end 2, the next stitch and the next. We're gonna skip the next stitch, and into the next, right here, we're gonna repeat. Pull up a loop, pass the yarn to the first loop, yarn over the hook, go back again, pull up a loop, 4 loops on the hook, pull the yarn through all 4 loops, chain 1, and now here we have the first style, and we're gonna go right here. Yeah, right there, and I'm gonna repeat. Go back again, 4 loops, pull the yarn through all 4 loops, chain 1, and from this moment forward you're gonna repeat on and on and on the same row. So you have here a line and this cluster. Yeah. So between this line and the cluster you have a space there. We're gonna go right into that space, and we're gonna repeat. Pull up a loop, pull the yarn to the first loop, yarn over the hook, go back again into that space, 4 loops on the hook, pull the yarn through all 4 loops, chain 1. So you have these lines, you see, and the space. Into that space we're gonna work. So this is the row. It's a very easy stitch. I keep saying that because it is, and it's beautiful when it's done. Because if you don't chain this one, you're not gonna have this line, the space between the line and the cluster here. Yeah, it's important to chain that one. After you do all this, you chain one. It's very important. Otherwise, you're gonna have to go back and redo. So you have this line here and the space. So for this hat that I showed you, I did 19 rows of this. So up until now we're working on the second row. Yeah. So when you, now depends how, maybe your head is bigger than mine, maybe it's smaller than mine. Yeah. So you will chain the foundation chain, or just chains, and then you're gonna put it around your head and make sure that it's not too loose, not too tight, and then you can close that foundation single crochet or the chain. Yeah. So you keep doing this. But for me, 19 rows was enough. Maybe you want more, maybe you will put 20, 22, depends. You might have more hair than I have. Yeah. So this is like very beginning where we close the circle. So you see, I'm gonna do the next and then the next, because we have already 2 here. We have only 1 row, the first row. So you're gonna do like this until you think that it's enough for the hat or the infinity scarf. So the last here, so where we joined, I'm not gonna slip stitch, I'm not gonna do anything, I'm just going directly with the working the stitch on and on and on. Yeah, chain 1, and then you start the 3rd row, and you have the line and the space, and you're gonna do like this on and on and on. Let me do this row, and then I'm gonna show you where to do the single crochets if you choose to do the way I did it. Yeah, you can finish the hat only with this this stitch without doing the single crochet in each stitch. For depends how many rows. I did 5 rows of single crochet in each stitch. It's much easier when I close that. Yeah, that one chain is very important. Otherwise, like I said, you're not gonna have the line and the space between the line and the cluster. Chain 1, and we're approaching the end of the 3rd one. Yeah, yeah, 3rd row. So it's very easy, but this stitch it's quite beautiful. And especially if you work with variegated yarn or you change colors. So you always, for example, if you want to change colors, so I have 2 more, that are only 2 clusters there on top of each other. You can change, I'm gonna show you. So I'm gonna, you see, this is only 2 on top of each other. So we have 1 more to do, 1 cluster or whatever. And then the next one, you're gonna start the 4th row. You're gonna have 1, 2, 3, and the 4th when you start the new row. So you're gonna, this is the last one, you're gonna do all this, and when you have 4 loops on your hook, now you attach the new color and you pass the new color through all these 4 loops, then you chain 1 and you move to the next space. Yeah. So now you're gonna chain 1, and now what you're gonna do, we're gonna skip this one because we chain 1 here. We're gonna skip this one and we're gonna go into the space between the line and the cluster, and we're gonna do a single crochet. Yeah. The stitch on top of this cluster, this one right here, and this one might be a little bit tight to get in. I'm just warning you. The next is the space, the line, and the space between the line and the cluster. See? And you're gonna do a single crochet. That one on top of the cluster, single crochet, and you're gonna do like this, single crochet. Don't forget the one on top of the cluster. Yeah, this one is gonna be a little bit tight to get in. This one, it's a lot of space in there. Okay, and then I'm gonna take the tapestry needle, and I'm gonna show you how to, oh, I skipped one. See, I'm telling you to be careful, and I'm doing exactly what I'm telling you not to do. Okay, so we still have a lot of single crochets to do, but this stitch for well, spring or autumn, it has a little bit opening, so if where you live the winter is mild and it's not that cold, I think this stitch works just perfect. But if you are in a place that it's so cold and the blizzard it's full force, well, this one you might skip it, put it on the shelf until spring. This hat, you want to be warm, not to feel the cold going through these spaces here. Okay, almost at the end. I'm telling you, this one is stubborn. It's not easy. Maybe you should work a little bit loose the last row that you of this kind of style before you start the single crochet, and maybe it's gonna be much easier. Yeah. So you see, I will stop right here. Yeah. So now what you're gonna do after you finish, yeah, you're gonna poke in that, you're gonna do a single crochet, and the next stitch you're gonna go in there and you're gonna do a slip stitch. Go to the next stitch, slip stitch, you chain one, you pull the yarn like a loop, you take the scissors, you cut, and then you're gonna hide the tail the same way I hide it, which means you're gonna hide this tail, you know, you're gonna take it like this and you're gonna hide it, and you're gonna go to the next cluster and you're gonna just pull it down. Yeah. So after you finish, let's say you finish that, the hat is done, then you're gonna take the tapestry needle and you, let's say it doesn't matter where you want to start, so you're gonna poke in here and you're gonna go like this. You can take two at a time, yeah, and you're gonna go like this, and you're gonna pull like this, on and on and on until you go around. Yeah. And after you finish doing this, you're gonna pull like you never pulled before. Now depends how thick is your yarn, because if it's not too thick, when you pull hard, you might break the yarn. The yarn might break. This is the, well, I like to call it the lazy easy way to do a hat without you know, increasing, decreasing. It's up to you if you like this style. If not, you will figure out how to, let's say, well, decrease, increase. Yeah. So after you do that, well, I'm just gonna hold this a little bit. Which one is the, and you're gonna pull. You're gonna pull, and you see when you pull, it's gonna close. Yeah. Well, I have to hold this, so it's gonna remain a little bit opening. Then you're gonna take the tapestry needle and you're gonna start closing. Yeah. So that's gonna be it. gonna be like this. Cute. So this is the way I do hats. I know some of you ask me to increase, decrease. I don't do that. It's just it's too much trouble for me. I want fast and easy. I don't like to concentrate on you know, counting and all that. So if you like this kind of hat, especially with this stitch, you can do this. Yeah. If you like, for example, you want here, you don't like this. Keep in mind, odd number, and where you join into that odd number, you join into a circle. Work into that stitch, the first stitch that you close that foundation chain. Yeah? Work into that and do a single crochet, and then in each chain or in each stitch, you do maybe a few rows of single crochet, if you like, to have a border. Yeah, here, and then in the first stitch you're gonna start to work how I showed you. Yeah. So this is the stitch and the hat. So if you don't like this this style, well, sorry, you're gonna have to figure out how to increase, decrease when you reach here. You can do few rows of single crochet, and then it's gonna be easy to increase, to decrease, whatever, especially decrease at the top. Yeah. Okay, well, I hope you like this this kind of style of hat, and especially this stitch. Give it a try. You might enjoy this one. Yeah. Well, thank you for watching. Bye bye.